Hi, I am Michael Shore. I am one of the founders of Essential Formulas Incorporated. I am standing here today in rainy Japan in front of the Shiogama Springs, whose waters flow directly into the fermentation pots of Biobank Company, who produces what I believe is the finest probiotic product in the world. Today we are going to follow that process from these springs all the way down through the fermentation plants and ending at the Fuji capsule encapsulation plants. Welcome to Japan.
Water from this spring was one of Dr. Ohhira's first ingredients over 2 decades ago when he began developing his revolutionary probiotic product. The crystal clarity of the water here is typical of the attention to purity Dr. Ohhira and his colleagues devote to every probiotic capsule they produce. Dr. Ohhira's probiotics contain no chemicals, artificial additives, preservatives, coloring, or flavoring. Ingredients are non-dairy, non-GMO, gluten-free, and all natural. The finished ingredients are developed during a fermentation process that uses 12 strains of lactic acid bacteria, including Dr. Ohhira's proprietary E. faecalis TH10 that's been shown to be 6 times stronger than any other lactic acid bacteria. For this discovery and his other pioneering work on probiotics, Dr. Ohhira has been widely honored.
If you look at the research on our website, you'll find that there's an immense amount of research and papers that have been done by Dr. Ohhira and his team of research scientists from Okayama University. Dr. Ohhira has authored or co-authored probably close to 30 papers now in peer-reviewed journals.
In addition to the lactic acid bacteria formula used during fermentation, Dr. Ohhira's probiotics are developed from a proprietary blend of 92 natural crops, including herbs, fruits, vegetables, and mushrooms. This extraordinary blend is then fermented in a natural temperature environment for up to 5 years.
It's fermented for 3 years and then processed for another 2 years. And you got to remember, in the United States, most things that go into fermentation might last 3 or 4 shifts, sometimes a week.
Every day, the big vats are aerated to increase the oxygen supply to the bacteria. And this natural temperature process means that the bacteria strains grow ever stronger with each passing season and each passing year, undergoing the process of natural selection.
There's 92 types of crops and vegetables and fruits and seaweeds and mushrooms that are added to it over a period of 3 years. It is grown in natural temperatures, which means that it goes through the 4 seasons, and it's a case of the survival of the fittest. As the weather changes, the bacteria change. And if you go to one of Dr. Ohhira's factories, you're going to hear Mozart being played because they find that that keeps the bacteria active. I've never peeked under those little things as if they're dancing, but they are active. And I have talked to other scientists who do the same thing when they work with lactic acid bacteria.
Another critical factor in the world-class quality of Dr. Ohhira's probiotics is the encapsulation process. It happens at a high-tech facility called Fuji Capsule in a rural area west of Tokyo at the foot of Mount Fuji.
If you had the chance to walk through the encapsulating facility that Fuji Capsule has in Japan, which is the #1 encapsulator in Japan and maybe in the world, you'll see what a unique product it is from the standpoint of taking a rather important method of fermentation and mixing it with real high-tech encapsulation material, which maintains the viability of everything in that capsule.
The probiotic is encapsulated in a coating specially designed to pass mostly intact through the stomach into the intestinal tract.
The coating is important because you want it to make it through the stomach, but you want some of it to get out as it's going through the stomach because you have so many problems in the stomach with H. pylori and other conditions of the stomach. It protects it all the way down to the lower stomach and then begins opening right about that point and opens as it gets into the colon.
Another major advantage of Dr. Ohhira's probiotics is its ability to stimulate the body's production of its own innate strains of lactic acid bacteria.
And it has a unique ability, which doctors have told me about, that they have not found in many other probiotics. It tends to begin to produce the body's own unique strains of probiotics. There's literally hundreds of strains of probiotics of lactic acid bacteria in the digestive system. We don't know what they all do. They don't even all have names. But what we do find is that taking Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, the body is enhanced in such a way, and I'm not sure what the systematic end of that is, but in such a way that it begins producing those unique strains as well as others that come in.
Helping the body produce its own probiotics is important because experts say optimal health requires that our GI tract have 85% beneficial bacteria, shown in this animation as the green elements. That 85-15 balance is essential so we can get the maximum benefit from everything we eat.
If your digestive tract is not healthy, you're not going to absorb your food. You're not going to get the minerals and nourishment out of your foods. You're not going to get it out of your dietary supplements you take.
But maintaining that 85-15 balance is becoming increasingly difficult.
If you take antibiotics, if you take oral contraceptives, if you take steroids, if you take any number of things, chlorine in the water, this type of stuff, it kills the good bacteria. Antibiotics obviously kill the good bacteria as well as the bad. It doesn't select between the two. And you get antibiotics. Secondhand antibiotics are important because they're coming in our beef and in our dairy and in our fruit and everything else.
Another significant advantage of Dr. Ohhira's probiotics is their guaranteed 3-year shelf life. That's a result of the multi-year fermentation process, which also eliminates the need for refrigeration.
It allows the strong to get stronger and the weak to get weaker, and those generational things take place every second. It's not like it's 80 years or anything. And what it really means is that you can pick up a couple of probiotic pills, Dr. Ohhira's, or a sheet of them and put them in your pocket and go traveling when you really need them, and not worry about having them refrigerated. Refrigeration is just not required with this product at ambient room temperatures. You don't have to worry about it coming alive when it gets in the stomach. It's alive before it gets to the stomach. A freeze-dried product, you're praying that there is lactic acid bacteria in it after the manufacturing and the transportation and the so on and so forth. And as you open and close a bottle of freeze-dried bacteria, moisture gets in, and that's one of the biggest problems you have with freeze-dried bacteria.
Dr. Ohhira's probiotics are manufactured by Biobank in Okayama, Japan, a charming medium-sized city on the Seto Inland Sea. Biobank is family-owned and operated, just as is Essential Formulas. Dr. Ohhira continues his groundbreaking work on new applications for probiotics. His wife, Masumi, now serves as Chief Executive Officer of Biobank after a distinguished career in finance. And son, Muniaki, holds advanced degrees in microbiology and is a major contributor to Biobank's ongoing work. In addition to dietary supplements, Dr. Ohhira has developed other products that include probiotics in soap and skin lotion, with more on the way. So the future looks bright indeed for this new area of health.
The world is learning about probiotics. There's probably more research being done in the world today on probiotics than maybe on any other generalized bacteria. And remember, anything on Earth that's alive has lactic acid bacteria in it, whether it's a leaf of grass or a fish or a bird or you or me. I don't think there's a hospital or clinic in the world today that should not be stocking probiotics, just the way 200 years ago they didn't stock aspirin. It doesn't matter how old you are or what your condition is. People should not try to get through life without it. I believe that the one overall important supplement to take daily is a good probiotic. Everything else builds on that.